The instruction now will be exactly the same for everybody. The instruction will be exactly the same for everybody, and that is that in the next 6 hours, I leave it up to you. How do you organize your next 6 hours? But one of ours and one of your 6 hours will be specifically dedicated to loving kindness only. And that loving kindness you did not practice in this retreat yet. It will be a different practice, which you maybe practiced with me some other time. And that is that you sit down in a comfortable posture, you make your determination from now on for 60 minutes, I will meditate on loving kindness without any movement. And then within 10 or 5 to 10 minutes, you need to go through those 3 little preparation stages. That is 1 round of muscles, observing peace alone, and then gradual expansion of your loving kindness to the whole world. After those 5 to 10 minutes, you switch to the so-called universal loving kindness, where you repeat again and again the sentence, may all beings, including me, be in peace. And you do that until the end of your session. So you repeat that sentence again and again. You don't change it. You don't add there anything. No, it's very strict. It must be exactly the sentence and no other. From now on, may all beings, including me, be in peace. And that's it. So then you finish your session. So when you have done 1 hour like this, then this is enough for loving kindness. And then you need to dedicate 5 hours to meditation on repulsiveness of the body. And I will be talking about that soon. So today we will be looking at the remaining part of our presentation. Specifically, we'll be talking about the brain and liquids. So the brain, first and foremost, is protected by various layers, about 7 layers protect the brain. And still they do not protect the brain enough. If you have a concussion, if you hit your head over the floor or over a wall or something else, well then the brain, which is basically floating in a liquid, will then jolt over a wall of your skull, and that may damage the structure of the brain, and that damage may be there for the rest of your life and reduce some of your abilities and skills that you had before. Here we are again looking at different exposition of the layers of the brain. This is a specific layer of the brain, which is called dura. It means that it is hard. It is the most superficial of the 3 layers that cover the brain, and covers the entire brain down to the big hole at the base of the brain, so-called foramen magnum. It's not actually the base of the brain, it's the base of the skull. All right, so here we are again looking at the dura. We see that the dura very carefully envelops the whole brain. And now we are looking at the gray and white matter. So the gray matter contains, we will have to answer. Okay, no problem. So that's what we have. Oh, here it is, the gray matter. It contains the cell bodies, dendrites, and the axon terminals. Then the white matter is made up of axons, which are basically the connectors between the different parts of the neurons, and also between the gray matter, between the different parts of the gray matter. The gray matter takes about 40% of the brain. And we continue. Here is another way how to see white matter over here, gray matter over there. And we're looking at the so-called corpus callosum. Corpus callosum connects the left and right hemisphere, and therefore we always need the left and right hemisphere for our thinking. You cannot just say, "Oh, when I'm doing art, I think by the left hemisphere, and when I'm solving math equations, I'm using my right hemisphere." No, this is not possible. We always use the whole brain. Okay, now the thing is here that we do not need to believe that these parts of the brain make up the mind. We definitely will have to say that they influence it, because when these parts of the brain, for example, this frontal lobe, if it is damaged, well, then there are problems. Then the person has problems with speech, with judgment, and other problems. If the yellow one is damaged, then right perception, left perception, then sensation, reading, body orientation, they will be impaired. They will be dysfunctional if this yellow part of the brain is somewhat damaged. Then you have here language, behavior, memory, hearing. And then at the back, we have a vision, and we have color perception. So those may be a little bit worse if this portion in particular is damaged. Then we have the cerebellum, sorry, and there we get voluntary movements with muscle control. Finally, we have the brain stem, and yes, it has is taking care of our body temperature, digestion, alertness, and basically the things that we cannot control well, such as breathing as well. This chart shows you the 4 kinds of hemorrhage. Hemorrhage can lead to death. Similarly, a stroke may lead to death, so it's important to cover our head properly and protect it properly over any injury and troubles. So now we see amygdaloid bodies, amygdaloid bodies. They say amygdaloid bodies, hypothalamus and thalamus, brown, and cerebellum. Okay, I think pretty good. They're somewhere they should be. And hippocampus is taking care of moving information from short-term memory to long-term memory. It relays the received information to the different places in the brain. Then we have thalamus, which is a station of all incoming motor movement and sensory information. Then we are moving yet again Burmese, and that is pineal gland produces the hormone serotonin, and so pineal gland there and therefore has the influence over our sleeping. This is the way how neurons are depicted. All right. So here we have the brain, and now the video will show you how a vision of someone becomes a vision that we remember or that we know in our brain. Okay. So this is how it travels around the brain, gradually to the back. Okay, so let's move on. This is the seeing process. In seeing, we switch left to right. and it seems we actually switch up to down, but that is not so much important here. Important is that what the brain gets data is not exactly reflecting what's outside. Then it gets combined at the back, and then it goes to the thalamus to decide what to do with that next. Now is the structure of the eye. The idea here is that it's not the eyeball or the things in front of the eyeball that are taking care of our eyes, but it's actually the fovea, which is at the back. Now we have rods and cones. So rods and cones serve to translate the data that is received from the light into the data that the brain is able to understand. Namely, here we talk about data traveling by internet. And here we see the structure of the neurons. It's very similar it's a little bit similar to the structure of the sinews, but as you can see, no real fibers. There may be here and there, but the main point here is that the nerve itself also has a lot of little organelles and its system and how it works and so on. So we are getting to the part 4. This will be very fast, so get ready for that. Bile. Here's where bile comes. It again helps with digestion. We need to distinguish cough and phlegm. Okay, cough and phlegm are different. Sorry, phlegm and mucus. Phlegm and mucus are different, and the Buddha teaches them differently. So mucus is thinner and comes from the nose and sinuses. Phlegm is thicker and it's produced by the throat and lungs. This is the pus. Those are the white blood cells which lost the fight. Then we have pus with ingrown hair, which is a pretty dangerous situation. Then we have blood. All over the body there must be blood, because wherever is a cell, there must be blood. There must be a blood flow to support that cell's life through providing oxygen. Like this, we have a blood vessel. And so it's not only blood, it's a lot of other things that circulate around our body to help it in various ways. Okay, this is deep vein thrombosis. Sometimes the blood, however, clots and it creates like little balls, and they then obstruct the pathways for the blood to flow. This is the so-called lymph. We were already talking about lymph. Lymph helps produce the different fighting of mechanisms so that the body can defend itself. But sometimes, of course, it doesn't work. Then it stops to work, or it works a little, and so the person is in danger. Sweat, fat. Here we have the fat in reality, although this is from an operation. You have this one, tears. Then we have grease. Okay, so this is the saliva. Now let's look at the mucus. So again, mucus is thinner. It's created in the throat and in the lungs. As for phlegm, it's thicker and it's created in the throat and nose. Whereas the mucus is created in the lungs and the throat. Okay, oil of the joints is a little specialty. I think for all of you, because you have joints, you also have oil of the joints, because maybe you do sport and so on. And then this situation is always getting a little safer. You just need to be careful about the sport you do, so that whenever your body has developed something nice, it will not lose it due to your disease. And finally, urine. Okay, I admit that I'm extremely tired. You maybe sometimes notice I like fall asleep as I'm talking. Um, so let me know if there's anything, any questions, anything you'd like to tell me. Yes, Sati.
Is it normal while watching these slides to have aversion throughout to your own body?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you well. Can you please repeat it?
Is it normal that while we are watching these slides, to have aversion towards your body and then coming to neutral and then aversion and then neutral?
I see that you have first aversion, that you sometimes have aversion and sometimes not.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Watching these slides, the slides of the human body and
Yeah, there are people who have pretty big difficulties during my lectures, during these particular lectures. Yeah. Aversion. I don't understand. And I never had that difficulty in my life. So I don't understand that. But in Czech Republic, we say the people with a stronger stomach and the people with weaker stomach. So I guess I'm the one with stronger stomach, and that's why I find it just no problem. It doesn't mean that I know it all. It can also happen that I will fall in love with a girl and become a layperson. Who knows? So it doesn't mean that by watching these pictures and having no aversion at all, that you have understood everything. Not at all. Not at all. Okay. I still have lust. I still have difficulties, but um, no, it doesn't mean that watching this presentation, having no aversion, is where you want to go. Okay. The solution is to achieve full liberation of all greed and hatred. So it's definitely much more complicated than that. Any more questions? Yes, Tara?
So how do you observe on the repulsiveness of the body?
Yes, very well. Thank you. Thank you for that question. So you need to every session when you meditate on repulsiveness of the body, and those will be five, at least five out of your 6 sessions. You need to sit in a comfortable meditation posture. Make sure your back is erect, and you make your determination. From now on, for 60 minutes, I will meditate on repulsiveness of the body without any movement. Got it? Then you will start at the hair, and you will say, hair is changing, dangerous, and out of control. And then in your mind, you accept the hair there where it is, not just the hair that's outside, but the hair, roots as well. You accept, okay, it is true. Those three characteristics are true. Do not go into stories or persuading yourself that it's true or whatever. No, no, no. Just accept, okay, I'm fine with that. It's true. That's all what we want. Then you say, body hair, changing, dangerous, out of control. And then you go. Eyes, nose, you could say chin, cheeks, ears, and gradually to the tips of the toes, because the body hair may be there, or there are the hair follicles, hair roots, and then you continue to nails. So you say nails, changing, dangerous, out of control. And you go fingers, toes, done. And you continue. Teeth, changing, dangerous, out of control. Upper teeth, upper jaw, lower jaw. And then you continue. Skin, changing, dangerous, out of control. Top of the head, forehead, eyes, nose, and all the way to the tips of the toes. And like this, you go part after part after part after part. I've sent to you a little cheat sheet yesterday. Hopefully you have it. Now I will send to you another cheat sheet. So thank you very much, Tara, for that question, because these are things I have to do, but I'm so extremely tired. I think I'm still actually suffering from the jet lag even after like 10 days, because sometimes I have some teaching periods that go overnight. or some meetings that are long at night, and so it's very hard for my body to actually get any system at all. So hopefully it will not have some like lifelong consequences, but that's my now present situation. It's pretty hard. So I will send to you the list of those parts that I gave you today, and you need to add brain to the list that I gave you yesterday. Here it is. So you have 20 parts. So you have 9 layers from the first meeting. Then you have 10 different kinds of organs, and that's from yesterday. And then you have 1 brain. Plus now you have 12, which is the liquids. Okay. So altogether you have 32 parts. Some parts contain things. For example, here blood includes lymph. So you will say blood and lymph, changing, dangerous, out of control. And then you go from top of the head, forehead, eyes, nose, and so on, all the way until the tips of the toes, because in all of those places you may have blood and lymph. Okay. Any questions? Yes, Hema?
Ask the questions again. So the list that you gave me yesterday and the list that you've shown here, for example, it doesn't says anything about nail or teeth. So I wasn't clear on how to observe the repulsiveness of the body.
Yes, so I thought that you are writing notes from what I say. If you do, then you would have those first 9 parts there in those notes. I actually repeated it several times. So this was from the very first meeting where I explained the body, and I explained that you're watching 9 so-called layers. I also explained that the Buddha did not teach it as layers, but that we are following the same order as given by the Buddha. What are the 9 layers? It is hair, body hair, nails, teeth, skin, muscles, sinews, bones, and bone marrow. If anyone have any doubt that you did not understand or something is missing, please contact Masyata Namyai, because she has all of that resource, and she can happily help you with any questions.
I have them. I was confused because there was a list you give in the group chat, yes, in here, like kidneys and liver. So what were those then?
So
That
you're
I
going to work with 32 parts.
got it.
32 parts, not 9, not 10, not 12. No, you need to go from the very beginning, from the hair, all the way until the urine. And you need to do it 1 time in each session at least, and maximum 2 times. You cannot split it. So if you, for example, see, oh, I have last 2 minutes to finish this practice, and I am still at bile, well, then you have to go the remaining 11 very fast. But you need to finish the whole cycle of 32 always by the end of your sitting or walking practice. Sitting and walking practice are exactly the same.
Thanks.
Any more questions? Okay, nice. Thank you everyone for coming. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you soon attain the eternal bliss of Nibbana.
Very much, Paddy.
Sadhu, sadhu. Okay.